What is serenity? Is it mental tranquility and an absence of stress or anxiety? Is it fulfilling a task without the least amount of pressure? Is it knowing the truth that brings hope or faith that one day I will be able to reach my destiny? Maybe it's living life without any lies whatsoever. Like, what is serenity? What is serenity is what I say. Um, and I think that it's that. I think that it's life, living life without any lies whatsoever, you know. But how is that possible is what I tell myself. How is that possible? How is that possible? How can there be a division between negative people, between evil people? How can society create this division? How can society admit, you know, that there is evil people? How can that in the future, take place? How can this raw reality unfold where you were to say, you know what, the evil people are on the south side, you know, the prisons are on the south side, you know, and the north side, is specifically for Christians, for different types of religions that believe in this and believe in that. Overall Christianity, you know, how can this division exist when in this world what dominates is is evil? The Bible says it, that evil controls because in reality, there's societies, groups, congregations of people that are willing to kill to obtain that power, to obtain that dominion, you know, and that's what exists in this world, you know. So you were to think that there would be a division between evil and good, but there isn't. You can't go into a city and say, you know what, it's a Christian community. That doesn't exist. At least I have not heard of anything like it, where there's just a Christian community, where there's just Christians. You know, you go into any subdivision and there's evil people. There's evil people there. There's homosexuals and there's dykes and there's people that pray to the devil. There's always this set there's always this set of people that are very much the same in every subdivision, in every neighborhood, in every area. In every neighborhood, whether it's rich or poor, there's always this set of individuals, and they don't deviate. They don't deviate. It's always the very similar set. So you're to say why? Why can't there be a Christian community? Why can't there be a division? Why? Why don't people unite? Why don't congregations unite? Why do they all have to live in very similar neighborhoods where there's, you know, as far as I know, in a Christian church, homosexuals are frowned upon. You know, they're frowned upon. In a vegetarian community, they don't have dogs. They care less. They don't have cats and dogs that eat meat in a vegetarian community. But guess what? In theory, I would say That's what I would say. Because in reality, a vegetarian community doesn't exist in this world. So, and then that's why I say, what is serenity? You know, how can you obtain this serenity? How can you obtain, you know, serenity when there's chaos? When how would you say it? When evil congregations unite to create chaos. How? Where I believe that if there's an authentic Christian community that that starts to unify, they attack it. You know, they attack it. They, the enemy, attacks it. Where there's a Christian community rising, evil attacks it. The enemy attacks it. You know, so you're to say, what is serenity, and how is it that somebody, because you were to think like my opinion, serenity is peace of mind, but how can you obtain that peace of mind in the middle of chaos that the enemy creates, maybe in a Christian community, but that doesn't exist, because of the enemy, maybe inside a Christian community.